So I was scrolling through TCG Player and I was honestly shocked at some of these prices on these cards. So I made a little list today of all the alternate arts that I think are great buys right now, and I think they are about to go up in price. We're going to start off with the Beedrill. And you're wondering, a Beedrill? This is a Gen 1 Pokemon and honestly a pretty popular one. And look at the prices of this. I remember this card being like 40, maybe 45 bucks, something like that. But we're almost at its all-time low. $16 was all-time low. We're at 17 bucks. Looks like you can get it shipped for $18, $19. Now, my reasoning on why I think this is going to go up. I mean, with 151, this Beedrill's harder to pull than the Charizard in 151. I mean, these cards are not easy to pull. I really think people are sleeping on all these Gen 1 alternate arts. So, the Beedrill. Plus, honestly, I think it's a beautiful card. I love it. I love that you're getting a ton of Beedrills in one card. So, and at that price, you really cannot go wrong. And as you can see, it's starting to tick up a little bit. I really think this is going to go right back up to a $30, $40, maybe even a $50 card down the road. I think all the Gen 1 alternate arts are going to have a premium down the road once people realize, I want to get every single Gen 1 Pokemon in an alternate art or illustration rare. Because in my opinion, those are basically the same thing. Just alternate arts have a tougher pull rate. So next on the list, we got the Mew V. Of course, Mew 151, one of the most popular Pokemon ever. Look at the price of this card. And in my opinion, this art is much, much better than the VMAX. But I remember this card, I want to say this card was like $70. Way back in the day, but a year back, the high was 40, 42, down to 25, rising up again. You see it start, all these are like going to start rising up. So I really think it's just like the Sun and Moon tag team cards. You know, they were high when they came out, dipped down, way down, and they just keep going up and up and up. So I really think this would be a good buy. Let's see, you can get it for anywhere from, let's see, $25 to $29, maybe 30 bucks. Beautiful card. I do own this card. All right, next on the list, the Machamp. You guys, this is the cheapest the Machamp has ever been. And this card was very expensive. So hard to pull. Cool Trainer Ryan, this is one of his chase cards, I think, in his videos. He just cannot pull it. So, look at that. 115. All the way down to 80. At its all-time low, $80 right now. Looks like you can pick it up for 70. Let's see, not the best seller. I mean, that one says 75 right there, but let's just say 80 bucks, 85 bucks. Beautiful card. I do not own this card, so I'm actually going to pick this one up here real soon. Trying to find a real nice copy. But, again, another Gen 1 Pokemon. Beautiful card. Next on the list, we got the Charizard. I was just doing all the Gen 1s first. This is the best Charizard art we got in all of Sword and Shield. Can't even really be argued. We're getting the Venusaur. We're getting an actual fight. I think it just came out at a time when Charizard was just a little overhyped. I think down the road, this card is going to be a $300 card. I honestly believe it. It's going to be a very expensive card because it's so hard to pull. I personally tried to pull it a bunch. My wife couldn't pull it. We gave up, and I got it in a lot. This card also went all the way down to $103. Crazy price. Back up to 122, dipped down a little bit. Now we're settling, coming back up to about 120. Looks like you can pick one up for 119. So, let's see, someone bought a moderately played one for $96. Otherwise, 120 for the near mint holo foil. So, again, I really think this card is going to be a $200 to $300 card down the road. And I think it's just underappreciated right now just because of the Charizard hate. But anytime we get a Charizard with another starter in there, I mean, Venusaur's my favorite starter, so I love this card. It's about to wrap up Charizard. Love it. Now, my reasoning on the next few cards is if you look at all the Sword and Shield alternate arts, there's really not that many starter Pokemon besides the Charizard. We got an Empoleon right here. This card, also on its way up, you guys. This card, I remember this card being, yeah, $40. I was going to say, I think I remember being 55 bucks. Maybe 60. Beautiful card. Love that he's in the forest. It's realistic. Beautiful. A little bit of water at the bottom. So, again, this is a starter Pokemon. And I know, if you're Gen 1 guy, this isn't your favorite starter Pokemon. You gotta remember, there's a whole generation of kids that this was their Blastoise. You gotta remember that. People forget that sometimes. You gotta remember other people's starter Pokemon, even the new starter Pokemon, Gen 9. There's a ton of kids. This is their first ever starter Pokemon. So, Empoleon, I think this is a great buy, and it's on its way up right now. It's down to $21. Let's see, you can get it shipped for $26, $27. Someone bought one, $25. Moderately played at $20. I don't know why people are spending $20 on a moderately played card when you can get the near mint for $5. I'm telling you, do not do that. If it's just a little bit more money to get that near mint, get the near mint. Even if you're just collecting it for your binder, it's just way better down the road, because one day you're probably going to sell these cards, or you're going to pass them down and they're going to get sold, or whatever it may be. And your kids are going to be disappointed if every single card is moderately played or played. And $5 difference when you're already spending $20 to $25. Definitely get near mint. The only time I really think it's okay is if we're talking really old vintage cards. Then I do think lightly played is definitely acceptable, depending on the condition. Some people's lightly played is different. But yeah, great card. Beautiful starter. Next, Intellion. Now this, what I think is funny is, this is one of the few Sword and Shield Pokemon that we got as an alternate art, and it's one of the cheapest. So it's a starter, and it's the VMAX, which the VMAXs have more premium, which, in my eyes, the Vs have a lot better arts, but whatever. This card is at its absolute lowest. I want to say this card was like $70. I could be wrong, but I want to say, because this thing only goes back a year, I want to say it was $70. I know for a fact, I think I bought mine at like $40, maybe $35. So, down to $20. Couple bought it. Yep, people bought it at $19, $20. Again, starter Pokemon. It's the VMAX, and it's an actual Sword and Shield Pokemon in the Sword and Shield block. So, I think this is a great pickup. I could definitely see this card being $50, $60, $70 way down the road because it is a starter Pokemon. Alright, we are flying through these. Next, we got the Celebi. No joke, top 5. One of my favorite Sword and Shield alternate arts. This card is so underappreciated. It always has been. I don't know why. Had a little bit of boom. Went up to $37 there. Dipped down to 21. 23. I don't think this card's ever been very expensive. I want to say it was $50. But yeah, $23. You can get it shipped for about $24, $25. And like I said, see, somebody is going out and buying all these moderately played cards for $20 when you can get the near mint for $23. What are we doing? Don't do that. But yeah, this card is no joke. So beautiful. I have this card. In person, it's even better looking. And you gotta remember, Celby is also a mythical Pokemon, so you really cannot go wrong there. I know some people aren't the biggest fan. They say it looks like an onion. But in this card, it does not look like an onion to me. It looks like it could be flying right next to Mew, and it would look awesome. So, great pickup. Next, I've put these cards on the list multiple times. I've done similar lists to this. But this card, one of the best cards. It's got Arita, that's the artist, one of the most popular artists ever. And this card was $70, $80. It could have even been over $100 when it first came out. I bet it was. All the way down to $24, and this card is not really moving up yet. Looks like you can get it for $22, $23. I think this is the perfect time to get this one. Because, let's see, someone bought it for $25, $24, $21. But the reason why I think it's a perfect time to get it is the Palkia, which I feel like the other art's better. This one's a little different, I guess, but this one's on the rise right now. Was down to $20, the same exact price as the Diagla. Now it's up to $31. Looks like you can get it shipped for 30 bucks. Someone bought one lightly played for 25. That's better than the model you played, but I mean, spend the $4 more and get the near mint. I do really like this card. It's just, it's different. And again, it's of a legendary Pokemon. But yeah, with this list, if you noticed, we're talking all Gen 1, starter Pokemon, legendaries, mythicals, good artists. These matter. So, alright, the next card on the list, I kind of just threw it in because I'm a big fan of it. And the art is just crazy. The Galarian Slowking, I know he's not the most popular Pokemon, but in my opinion, this is one of the most unique arts we got. It's right up there with like the Blaziken, the Giratina, the Magikarp, stuff like that. And this card is at its absolute cheapest right now. So you can get it for $27, 26 bucks. Beautiful card. See, the high was 38, and I think this card was like a $55, $60 card. And again, this was just one of my personal favorites, so I just didn't really have like a big reason, like he's not a legendary or anything like that, but just a cool, unique card, and it's cheap. The Genesect. Honestly, Genesect's a pretty popular Pokemon, and this card is dirt cheap. We can get it shipped for $13, $14. Someone bought a damaged one for $9. And then someone bought a near mint one for $13. Oh, people. But yeah, I actually, not the biggest fan of like the cartoony cards, but I actually really, really like this card. And it's got Smeargle in the background. He's dancing. It's just kind of unique. And Genesect is a mythical Pokemon. And at this price, you really can't go wrong. Next on the list, we got the Galarian Articuno. Now, the Galarian Moltres is a very expensive card. The Galarian Zapdos, I'm not a big fan of the art or even the design of Galarian Zapdos. But this Galarian Articuno is beautiful, and I think it's super undervalued. And it's on the way up a little bit right now. This card was very expensive when it first came out. It was probably over $100, if I can remember correctly. But you can get it shipped for almost about 40 bucks. And the all-time low was 35, so you're not too far away from the all-time low. You know, it's taken up a little bit from there, but I could definitely see this card being a $60, $70 card. You know, not even 6 months from now or a year down the road. Because I really feel like there's going to be a Sword and Shield alternate art boom where some of these prices are just going to start going up. But alright, last on the list, we got the Mew V Max. I don't know why I didn't put this with the Gen 1. I think I just added it right there at the end. I was trying to keep it to 10, but I think we got 13 here. But this card also, all-time low. I do think the V alternate art has a better art, but this card is still beautiful. Especially in person. This card was very expensive. You can see it was at $90 not too long ago. All the way down to $53, $54 shipped. And we're talking Mew, one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. So for a total of like what? How much was the other Mew? For a total of 80, 90 bucks max, you're getting both alternate art Mews. So, not terrible. Someone bought one for 53 bucks near mint. So I think all of these cards is a great time to buy. This Mew V Max, it could dip down a little more. I could see it maybe getting down to like $45, maybe $40, but it's going to be tough. I think it'll probably settle at 50 and then start going up. But most of these cards I feel like are at their bottom or very, very close, and half of them are starting to rise back up. So I looked at every single Sword and Shield alternate art card and looked at the graph and everything, and I had to add one more. That's the Gutina V. This card is so beautiful. In my opinion, it is the best art in all of Sword and Shield. It really can't even be debated. It's so unique. I love it. And this card was very expensive in the mid 300s. Now it's down. The all-time low is $230, and it's rising up right now. Let's see what we can get it for. You can get it shipped for about $240. And I could honestly see this card being the next Umbreon. I honestly feel like it's going to do that. I think it could honestly be a $350, $400, $450, $500 card. So if you are interested in getting this card, I would watch this card like a hawk. And if you see it go up any more, like just a little bit more, I'd probably pull the trigger on it because it is so beautiful. So I'm about a lightly played one at $195. Now, when we're talking super expensive cards like that, I'd possibly be okay depending on the lightly played. But someone got a near mint for $300, $213. So I don't know what they're doing. It probably is just on the centering. People are probably being very, very picky. A lot of people like to grade this card, but I wouldn't. I'd like to keep it raw. I'd love to pull it out of the sleeve and just really look at it. That's one thing I hate about grading cards is you can't pull it out of the sleeve. You can't feel that texture. It's just, there's something about that that's just special. But yeah, definitely the Gutina V. No joke, my favorite card in all Sword and Shield. And like I said, I'm watching it like a hawk. If it goes up anymore, I'm pulling the trigger. This is one of the few Sword and Shield cards that I still need. I've tried to pull it so many times. It's so hard to pull. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any quick questions or comments, please let me know down below. If you'd like some real in-depth personal help on anything investing or anything Pokemon related, you can join my membership at 99 cents a month and I will help you with whatever you need. And if you guys want to check out the best X and Y stats to invest in right now, watch this video. Otherwise, have a great day and we'll see you later.